The World Cup is finally here, and Africa has its biggest representation ever. We now have 10 teams instead of 5. I'm Kenea Samson here with my co host Eyu, and Afro Rooted is back, y'all.
Crazy start to the World Cup. How was that? There was a lot of chaos with African fans supporting Mexico instead of South Africa. I feel like
Oh,
you'd
yeah.
probably expect most like historically we support our African brothers or whatever, but
Very valid points, but it is also a mixed feeling personally because, South Africa did give us, a great World Cup in 2010. They hosted it. Great moment with Chabalala scoring that goal, so you have all that going in your mind, like, going into this tournament.
yeah,
But that
yeah,
being said, Mexico won, and it's always great when the host team wins as well for the World Cup. Great vibes.
yeah, great start. I feel like this is going to be a good episode. We have a really cool concept. Obviously, people are doing similar things, but um, we're gonna go through all of the groups that have African teams in them. There are 10 groups. We have 10 countries, and then we're gonna give our ratings out of 10 of how likely they are to make it out of the groups, and then if they are gonna make it out of the group, how far do we think they're gonna go? I think it's gonna be a great episode, honestly.
Most definitely.
All right, starting off with Group A, we got South Africa in a group with Mexico, Korea, and the Czech Republic. Obviously, we've already watched the first games. In this group, we know that Mexico is in first place with the goal difference. Korea second place after beating the Czech Republic. How are we reflecting on those games? What are we feeling about South Africa at this point, Ghana?
Before the start of the World Cup, I completely had a different expectation from South Africa, being that they had a very tough qualification round, and in the AFCON qualifiers, they had the whole controversy with fielding an illegible player. They lost points, but they still made it over, giant like the Super Eagles, Nigeria. So, I was expecting big things from this team, and I feel like this looks on paper, it looks like a much more stronger team than the one they fielded in 2010.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of local players. 16 of the players out of the 26 play for either Mamelodi Sundowns or Orlando Pirates. So that's big, that's big for Africa too, showcasing the, local players can, compete at the high level. That's what I was looking forward to see, but I don't know. I don't know about their chances of going through now, especially with that last game we saw with Czechia and Korea.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. It's going to be a very tough one.
Yeah. I don't know if they approached the first game right. They kind of try to be very transitional against Mexican team who kind of did it back to them, and then the first red card happened and the game evolved how it did. But yeah, I think the main game, or if they want to make it through third place qualification, they kind of have to beat or pick up points against the Czech Republic, who are I feel like they're always just a pretty solid team. I'm pretty sure they're the tallest team in the World Cup, so I feel like it's going to be a difficult one. And then not only that, they also have players who are suspended. They had 2 red cards in the first game, so I think we can move on quickly from this group. We can just go ahead and make our predictions. What's your rating? 1 to 10. How likely do you think South Africa? This is kind of cheating. I know we've already watched one game, but what are the odds they make it out of this group?
3 out of 10. No more than that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's uphill battle at this point. So good luck to South Africa for the rest of the game. Let's see how they do. Moving on to Group C, we got Morocco in the same group as Brazil, Scotland, and Haiti. I think this is going to be one of the groups that one of the countries that has a really strong chance of making it out of the group. Obviously Brazil is going to be one of the favorites, but I think for a team like Morocco, Scotland, and Haiti are definitely, beatable teams. What are you saying about Morocco's chances, Ghana?
Oh no, I like their chances very much. Morocco has proved that they could already compete at this level. Last World Cup was amazing, seeing them make the semifinals, making African history. this time around they're no longer going to be considered underdogs. I feel like they're going to have expectations, and I want to see how they deal with that pressure. And they've got the good combination of youngsters, and although they do lose some experienced players like Roman Saiz and Nesri, I think they still can manage. A couple of changes as well with like the coach leaving, Walid Regragui, and now they have a great replacement in Coach Mohammed, who took the U20 national team all the way to the finals and won the U20 World Cup. So, hopefully that kind of success can translate to the senior team as well. And that kind of morale boost is also needed. So I think they're going to make it out of the group.
Yeah, I feel like they're always going to be a strong team. They have, a crop of great players around the same age who are, all playing at really high level for their clubs. There's obviously Ismail Sabari, who it looks like is going to Bayern, which is insane. The Brahim Diaz, Unahi, Hakimi, Madrawi, like there's so many players all over the pitch that are going to make an impact on the field. Always they have so many just solid performers. We don't know what the status is with AFCON, like whether or not they've won it, but they still made it to the final regardless of whether or not
it won't matter if they win the World Cup.
Yeah. So what are you saying? What are their chances 1 to 10 of making it out of the group?
I'm gonna have to go with a 9, if not a 10, man. 9 and above, for sure.
Yeah, it's gotta be. Moving on to Group E, Côte d'Ivoire is in the same group as Germany, Ecuador, and Curacao. This is one of those countries that we might not have had high expectations for, but considering the group that they're in, this should be kind of manageable for them. Obviously, Côte d'Ivoire has a pretty young but strong squad. Obviously, for those of us who are interested in the transfer market and player movement, Yan Diomande is one of those big names that's going to be more expected to move this summer. But yeah, I feel like they have a lot of pretty good players all over the pitch. I just found out on the France versus Ivory Coast friendly that Desiree Doué has a brother.
Older brother.
I had no idea. But he had a crazy game where they beat France 2-1. So yeah, what are you saying about Ivory Coast?
Well, this is a very tough group, first of all. I think this is one of the groups you could consider a group of death. Ecuador is a very strong team. Germany, I don't know what they're going to give us. Either I don't know what kind of Germany we see, but you can never write them off. They could be one of the greatest, or they could drop out in the group stage. But I think Ivory Coast has a very good chance of passing through. They have a very good squad, with a mixture of young and older players, but they're also on average, they're the youngest team in the World Cup. So, a lot of fresh energy. And I feel like, this is since the AFCON that they won in 2023 at home, Coach Emers Faye has been able to build his own team. And I think he's had enough time to kind of build the national team up. And I feel like this is going to be the time to show what he's built.
Yeah. So what do you think their chances are 1 to 10?
For Ivory Coast, I'm going to have to go with an 8 out of 10.
Oh, no way. That feels kind of high, low key.
It is. I mean, yeah.
Okay, so Group F has Tunisia, the Netherlands, Japan, and Sweden. I feel like this is low key one of the tougher groups for an African country. All of the countries are pretty solid. They might not be, World Cup winners, but I feel like all of them are gonna have expectations of make it pretty deep, round of 16 at least, for all 3 of those other countries. So it kind of feels like a daunting group for a country. Obviously they are a solid team, but Tunisia might kind of struggle to get out of this group. What do you think?
I think Tunisia is going to have a very tough time, especially because I feel like Tunisia currently struggles with a lot of consistency. Either they're good or they're bad. I feel like there's a lot going on there. Their coaches, they change coaches like crazy. So I do not see them making out the group, sadly, because Japan is one of the strongest teams right now. I think this is one of the strongest they've ever been. They've been on a great unbeaten run so far. Netherlands is the Netherlands, have great players when it comes to the World Cup. They always make it far, even though they never won it, they've reached the finals a couple of times. And Sweden is also, I think as they're in this, Sweden is actually, I think, in a similar position as Tunisia. I feel like they also suffer with inconsistencies, but I feel like those two are my favorites to go through this group, is Netherlands and Japan, and Sweden and Tunisia is kind of like up in the air for both of the teams. That's how I feel.
What are their chances of making it out of the group, 1 to 10?
I'm gonna go with maybe 4 or a 5. I'd say a 4.
Okay, so moving on to Group G, we got Egypt, Belgium, Iran, and New Zealand. Egypt, I feel like, at least for me, I'm not a Liverpool fan, but Mo Salah has a special place in my heart. I feel like he is almost like underrated for how good he was, like over the last maybe like 10 years, maybe 8 years.
Very consistent.
Yeah, consistent guy, consistent performer. I feel like here's my hot take, actually. I think Egypt is gonna have a World Cup similar to Argentina last time around, where they're all like kind of rallying together to give their best player like a World Cup to remember. That might not necessarily mean that I don't think that they're gonna win the World Cup, but I think there's a chance that they make it to the quarterfinals. That would be my prediction.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they're in a strong position. I think this is probably the easiest group that you could expect, or
I don't know, man.
So what are you saying? What obviously I feel like these are going to be
their chances of going through. I think they're going to go through for sure. And just so everybody knows too, like Egypt has never won a World Cup game. That's a fun fact for you. They're the first African team to compete, in 1934, but they've never won a game. And
that's insane, considering how like dominant they've been in AFCON. For that to be, that is a crazy fun fact. Okay, so let's have your rating then. 1 to 10, chances of them making it out of the group.
I'm gonna go out of the group. I'm gonna go with an 8 or a 7. 8, solid.
You know what? Okay. All right, moving on. Let's talk about Group H. Cape Verde is in a group with Spain, Uruguay, and Saudi Arabia. You know what? I said that Tunisia might have been in the toughest group, but I might have been wrong. This is an insane group. Cape Verde obviously did pretty well in qualifying. They qualified over Cameroon, which is I think that's pretty big for a country like Cape Verde. I think it's their first time in the World Cup. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
But have you watched their games? How are they looking?
I did see them in the qualifiers. Although after the qualifiers, I haven't seen a game of theirs. But Cape Verde is a team that slowly is building itself up and has become a mainstay in African football. It's sad that they missed the last AFCON, but the one before that in Côte d'Ivoire, I believe they went far. They went to the quarterfinals, and so it's and for a small island, they're really good at recruiting from their diaspora. Even using LinkedIn to record it. We have that famous story. Cape Verde, it's a fairy tale story. They've already won in our books, so I feel like just them going in here, I feel like they're going to go and try and make the best out of this. They're going to try and enjoy their football. It is a very tough group, though, I would say. But, I feel like they would have less pressure than anybody else in that group. So I want to see what that brings, and I wouldn't be surprised if they make it through, but it is very tough to that group, You got Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is not an easy team as well, led by Coach Hervé Renard. You got Uruguay and Spain. They both with a big history in the World Cup. They're known to go far in the World Cup. Even though we're winning the World Cup, both are previous World Cup winners. So
So what do you like? Okay, let's give them a rating 1 to 10. Chances of them make it out of the World Cup. I feel like it's going to be a number under 5.
I'm gonna go around 4 or 5. I'll
Yeah,
give them a four or
yeah,
yeah, four.
yeah.
Because I think they have a good chance of making it as best third team is like I think their chance.
Next up, the true AFCON champs, my favorite team, team that I'm going to be supporting this World Cup. I need to hop one of those Senegal jerseys. Yeah, Senegal in Group I with France, Norway, and Iraq. Obviously, I think it's not a hot take to say that I think they're going to go furthest from all the African countries in this World Cup, because they obviously have the best team, the deepest squad. They're in Group I with France, Norway, and Iraq. Obviously, they didn't have the best international friendlies, before leading up to this World Cup. They drew with the US 3-2, and then I'm lost to the US 3-2, and then drew with Saudi Arabia after a red card. Um, yeah, what do you think about Senegal, Kana? Um,
Yeah. All I gotta say is Senegal Rec, bro. That's my team.
yeah,
Um, I've been amazed by this team and their progression from since Aliou Cisse took over, and now with Pap Thiaw, their transformation is amazing. It's built on something real, something strong. They have generations to come after this too. Yeah, like you mentioned, they have the deepest squad in Africa. Every position they could put in at least 2 to 3 players. Maybe that one small weak point would be a strong number nine, but Nicholas Jackson, we know he's not very clinical, but he does the job, man. He does a lot off, other than scoring, he does pretty well.
hey,
He,
we gotta put some respect on Nico Jackson's name, bro.
I
The
know he gets a lot
chaos
of,
merchant.
yeah, but yeah, I think this time Senegal is gonna make history, man. They're gonna beat Morocco's record. That's what I'm gonna say.
That's a hot take. If they beat it, that basically means they make the finals.
I think they're gonna
Okay,
be the first African team to win the World Cup. You heard it here first. It's not a surprise. If they win it, world is gonna be shocked. We ain't gonna be shocked.
that is well, you did hear it here first. And if Senegal wins the World Cup, I hope somebody put like $5 on it on one of these betting apps and rob them of their money because those
I'm
odds are
saying,
probably
man.
crazy.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is to the Senegalese team, if y'all win, invite me to the parade, man, because we
Yep,
believed in you from day one.
that is a good hot take. I like that. I like that. Okay, well, obviously, yeah, considering that, let's talk a little bit about their group because it's not the easiest of groups.
Not at all.
France obviously is going to be the favorites probably or top two favorites to win the whole thing.
Hmm.
Norway is not a bad team. Our captain, Arsenal captain Odegaard, they have like so many target and strikers, but
Hmm.
Haaland obviously is the best one. Iraq is not a bad team either.
They're
Um,
not.
yeah, so like yeah, chances of them making it out of this group, I
You,
obviously it's gonna be high, bro.
this is the group of death, I would say, because like Iraq is no joke. Norway is Norway. They got Erling Haaland in their team, Odegaard. Anything can happen, and this is the probably one of the best Norwegian sides we've seen in a long time. France is France again, one of the favorites to win it all. Um, Despite that, I think Senegal can hold on to, could hold their own in their group. Um, and I give them a 8 or 9 of passing from this group. Actually, 9 or 10. Sorry.
Next up, Group J, we have Algeria, Argentina, Austria, and Jordan. Um, I feel like from all the groups so far, this is probably the group I know the least about. Um, yeah, I'm not sure what to expect from Algeria. Neither do I know much about Austria or Jordan. Um, what do you think, Anna?
Algeria, I think they have a very good chance of going through this group. My hot take is Algeria is beating Argentina. Yep.
Jesus, this is
If
a tell me it's an African podcast without telling me it's an African podcast. That's a crazy take.
I know it sounds crazy, but I think that's gonna be the shock of the World Cup. Is Yeah, I think Algerians have a very like if there's an African team confident enough to do something like this, it's Algeria, man. They've proven this historically. They've beat West Germany back in the day when no one expected them to. They all, 2014 World Cup, they made it pretty far. They took it all the way to extra time against Germany. So I think they can surprise us. They have a great crop of young players coming into the squad, as well as veterans like Riyad Mahrez, the striker Amura is looking really good. I think he's going to be one of the players to watch out for this World Cup for sure. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. And no, I feel very good about Algeria's chances of going through the group at least.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously, they beat Holland leading up to this World Cup in a friendly. Uh, they also beat Bolivia. Um, that's a good sign. 0 goals conceded, 5 goals scored in 2 games.
Tell
I
you, man.
guess, I guess, I guess they look good. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna be keeping an eye out for them. I will be tuning in to the Algeria Argentina game, and you will get a text if they don't win. But if
Oh,
they do win, you're gonna be yeah, a legend. That's
yeah.
that's a crazy take, and I love that.
I I
That's a
think that I promise this is my last hot take this episode, but I
yeah.
had to say it.
All right, okay. Let's give them a rating, 1 to 10. Making it out of this group.
I'm gonna give him a solid 8, man. 8 out of 10.
8. Okay. So yeah, I guess yeah, Austria and Jordan, for yeah, they're beatable teams. We got Group K with Congo, Portugal, Colombia, and Uzbekistan. I feel like there's one of those groups where the African team is going to make it out of the group stage because they come third. Um, what do you think?
Okay. It's a very tough group, but I think Congo has a good chance of going through. Maybe not as one, definitely not first place, but maybe not as second, but they might make it as third place. I think that's my safe on the safe side. I think I would say they make it through as one of the best third teams,
Yeah,
and if they perform well enough, I think they can make it as second. The only reason I say this is because Congo is not a very high scoring side. They're
yeah,
gonna have to fix that problem if they want to make it through, and just your defending can only take you so much, especially when you're playing against teams like Portugal, right? So, and
yeah,
Uzbekistan as well is not a. I was just reading up on them briefly, but they've been punching above their weight in the Asian Cups. They have. I think their youth teams have been doing pretty decent, and
yeah,
they've been investing in their football for over 2 decades now. So I think Uzbekistan could surprise us too, just because I've never we don't know much about them, but they could, they made it to the World Cup, so I think it's a side you got to take very seriously, and you know, Congo definitely shouldn't take it. It just depends on the attitude they have going into the game, and I feel like they want to go for it, and we'll see what happens.
yeah. I feel like Congo obviously benefited from the new World Cup structure, and they made it through like the qualifiers. They beat
Hmm.
Jamaica to get there. But yeah, like I feel like they obviously they're a pretty good team, but I feel like they're probably happy to be there in the first place.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, we'll see how they get on.
yeah.
What do you think
I
the
mean,
chances are?
the chances are very. I'd say it's going to be a little bit lower than some of the other teams because I mean Portugal and Colombia are gonna make it far, I think, in this World Cup, and historically as well, South American teams do tend to do very good at a World Cup held within the Americas. The weather factor is also good for them. Actually, it's also
Yeah,
good for Congo, I guess, in this case. Uh, but Portugal has one of the best teams. They're also similarly to Egypt and Mo Salah and Senegal and Sadio Mane. It's the last dance for one of the greatest players that ever lived. So
yeah,
that's gonna be tough. So I would say their chances of making it out of this group is 4-ish, 4-5-ish
yeah.
out
Sounds
of
about right. It
yeah,
feels like a team that makes it out of the group and then loses in the round of 32. That's
yeah.
my prediction for Congo. Good luck to them. I'm
Good luck,
sorry if I
Congo.
sound like a hater for all these countries,
Oh
but
no. By
I
the
feel like
way,
it's realistic.
we're just saying these, but like we do want them to go as far as possible.
Yeah.
Just want to disclose that.
And last but not least, we got Ghana in a group with England, Croatia, and Panama.
Hmm.
Uh, you know what? Um, this is a pretty tough group.
It is.
Um, England obviously is good. Croatia is always just consistent performers. I don't know much about Panama if I'm being honest. What do you think? Would like, uh, yeah, what's
You
going
know,
on with Ghana?
Ghana, man, anything. It's a very unpredictable side, Ghana, right? That's we've seen it in AFCON or whatever. It's either a team that's gonna get out of the group stages. I mean, yeah, they might not get knocked out in the group stages. They might make it to round of 16s, quarterfinals. I wouldn't be surprised either ways because I feel like they do have the quality in their players to make it through any round. It's just how are they structured and how do they come in. So I've never doubted Ghana's talent. It's
Mm,
been it's
yeah.
always they've always had talent. That's never been an issue. The issue has always been with structure and how they field their team.
Yeah.
They've fired Coach Otto Addo recently, and then they have another coach right now. And I would have loved to see a Ghanaian coach it. I'm not gonna lie, but if he
Mm.
does the job, he does the job. Man, this is probably the team I have no clue what's gonna happen to them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I feel
England
like
versus Ghana should be a very interesting game, with the colonial history and everything.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
similar to France and Senegal, so I feel like
yeah.
there's gonna be some fire for that game. And no matter what happens, I just want Ghana to win that game. I think that would be a great World Cup history moment if they
Well,
can
yeah, I feel
manage to.
like the minimum expectation or the minimum that most of these countries will have is to win one game out of their group. It would be insane if they beat England. I feel like um it's not like an impossibility that they do. Ghana does have a lot of attacking talent, like the likes of Sulemana, Isuaku.
Mhm.
Forgot how you pronounce the name. Um, actually, crazy news.
Semenyo, Anton
Did you
Semenyo.
Antoine Semenyo, of course. Did you see that Thomas Partey was denied entry into Canada? Crazy story that came
No,
out today.
I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
he's gonna miss their first game because
Wow.
of that. Yeah.
Why? What was he doing?
Uh, well, last I saw, like when I read the story, there wasn't a reason. You would
Okay.
imagine that obviously with the lawsuit going on and stuff,
Oh,
that
okay,
was
okay,
playing
yeah.
into it.
Sure.
But yeah, that is definitely gonna have an impact on their first game.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how they get on. Let's give them a rating, 1 to 10, of them making it out of that group.
Oof. No, I'm gonna go with a 5 because I feel like,
Mhm.
but I think if they go through, it's probably they're gonna be one of the best third
Yeah,
teams.
yeah, yeah. That sounds about right.
And that's what we think is going to happen in the group stages for Africa, man. Let us know if you guys think we missed anything. Who do you guys see going to the far enough in this tournament? Let us know in the comments, please. Yeah, we got Morocco, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, and Egypt going far in this. Senegal winning the World Cup. Yeah, let us know what you think, man. Thank you for joining
Yeah.
us.
Thank you for joining, guys. Have a good one.